All right, we have question number 10 from the 2014 Math 7 SOL test, and it says, Clarence made a scale drawing of a classroom. The scale in the drawing is 2 inches, represents 9 feet. So if I write a little a ratio here, 2 inches is equivalent to 9 feet. Those kind of tie together. A ratio, remember, can be written in the form of a fraction, or it can be written, like 2 to 9, or even 2 colon 9, with the units, of course, in there. But I decided to write my ratio this way, and you're going to see why I decided that in just a second. So it goes on to say the actual length of the classroom is 36 feet. What is the length of the classroom on the scale drawing? What we see in a problem like this, what should jump right out at you is this is a proportion problem. If they give us our scale factor, 2 inches is to 9 feet, and they give us one of the dimensions of what we have, and they're asking us to find the other dimension that's equivalent to it as far as the scale, then we set this up using proportions. And proportions are nothing more than one fraction being set equal to another fraction. The key to set up this proportion is making sure your units match. In other words, if in this fraction I put my inches value on top and my feet value on the bottom, then in this fraction I must put my inches value on top and my feet value on the bottom. So let's see what it says in the second half of this problem. It says the actual length of the classroom is 36 feet. 36 feet was given to me. Since I have feet in the bottom, I need to put 36 feet in the denominator of this fraction. What is the length of the classroom on the scale drawing? On the scale drawing, that was the inches, so that's what we don't know. That's our question mark, our x, and our unit is inches. So now that we have our proportions set up, we simply cross multiply. I multiply these two values, 9 times x, and then I cross multiply, multiplying these two values. That gives me 72, 36 times 2. And I set them equal to, and I solve for x. I get x by itself. Now 9 is connected to the x by multiplication. To get rid of the 9, we divide. And remember your number 1 rule in algebra, whatever you do on the left side of an equation, you must do on the right side of the equation. So I divide this side by 9 as well. These 9s sort of cancel out because 9 divided by 9 is just 1, or just 1x. 72 divided by 9 gives me 8. And since the unit that was missing is inches, I'm looking for inches. So 8 inches is our value. Now we could have completely set this up differently. We could have said 9 feet is to 2 inches. But if we did that, we put feet on top and inches on the bottom, then this fraction would have to have 36 feet on top and unknown inches on the bottom. Another way we could have said this is, 9 feet is to, this is the small compared to the small here, is to the 36 foot measure as 2 inches. Remember the 2 went with the 9, is to the unknown, or the x inches. That unknown went with the 36. Regardless though, every time I cross multiply, I get 9 times x. I get 36 times 2, which is 72. That's what I got here, 9 times x, and 36 times 2 is 72. Same idea here, 9 times x, 36 times 2. Every single setup that I have here will yield the same answer. Lots of different ways to try and solve this, lots of different ways to set up these proportions, but they all will yield the same answer as long as you set up your proportion correctly. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great day.